This is Brew Crew territory. Scott Braun and Erik Kratz with you. Corbin Burnes, the guest of the show, coming up in just a sec. Will he stay or will he go? Kratz, prediction.
Go. He gone.
Go.
He
Traded
gone.
before the season starts.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think it'll be a sizable return because of where the market's going to shape out to be right now. It's the teams that are, not going in on the high-priced free agents. They're looking at them. But what's going to happen? Not everybody can get their high-priced free agent starting pitcher. So the Brewers are playing this perfectly coy right now. The teams that aren't going after them are maybe making their offers, maybe checking in, kicking the tires. And then all of a sudden, when those free agent pitchers are off the market, guess what? Now some of the big boys are going to start coming and calling for the 1-year rental in Corbin Burnes.
He is a 1. Look at the return, which I thought was really solid, that the Padres got for Juan Soto. 1 year of Corbin Burnes when it's super tough to find a starting pitcher. I think the Brewers could get a massive return this offseason. Don't even think about the trade deadline. I agree, and it's tough to say it and to see it based off them being division champs, but he's not coming back, and a team like that has to get a return. That's how they kind of stay afloat when they have a player like that who is leaving. That's a guarantee. He will be gone after this coming season at the latest. So we'll see what happens. Let's talk to Corbin about it right now.
How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. What do you got over there, AJ?
Nothing. Nothing. Just thinking about the guy that's been here since day one with me. He used to have long hair. Now he cut it and, he's back. So,
It's starting to get a little longer again. We're getting there.
We got to go back to the full mullet that you had in this picture.
I don't know if my hair's going to grow long enough to do that again. Be looking like Kratz soon.
What?
Oh,
Let me see them. Let me see them power alleys. Let me see. It looks like Kaufman.
Like they're getting there.
Whoa.
We're close.
That's okay. You have good friends in your life?
Yeah, my wife tells me it's turning gray too, so I'm almost there.
Oh, I love that. That's what you need. You need friends in your life. If people have bad haircuts, you need to give them a hug because it means they don't have friends in their life. Like you need a friend to tell you whether you got a good haircut or not. And your hair's looking a little greasy, so I'm glad you're wearing a hat today.
Yeah, I don't shower very often, so that's part of it.
Burnsy, I got a question for you. The Pirates. Sorry, Hannah.
No, I was just going to say, I noticed you're all wearing hats, so I'm not confident in anyone's hair today.
I got lots of hair.
Hannah. I mean, Hannah, do you think I'm not wearing a hat? Actually, in real life, I don't wear a hat. This is my show. This is my show here.
Yeah, the alter ego.
It's my alter ego.
Listen, if I'm not wearing a hat, I'm at a wedding or a funeral or I'm on television. That's it. Other than that, I'm in a hat. If I go somewhere where they say you got to take your hat off, I will walk in with a hat, take my hat off. My hair will look like this while I'm eating dinner, and as soon as I walk out, I put the hat right back on. And no, a hat does not make you lose your hair. That is bullshit.
Yeah, no. It's because of the minor league. It's because of the minor league shampoo and soap that I had to put in it for all those years when you didn't have real. I'll tell a minor league shampoo and soap story sometime, but not when Burnsy's on. Burnsy, the Pirates just signed Martin Perez, okay, an older guy who 2022 All-Star, like a legitimate pickup for them. We were talking about how the fact that maybe the Pirates aren't in a position right now to make it to the playoffs. So 1-year guy like that, who's that guy for you? Who is that guy in your career? Because we're talking about maybe somebody like Mitch Keller can watch Martin Perez like do his work and go through the ups and downs of a season and yet still be the same guy. Who is that guy for you? Because we talked about the fact that in a few years, Mitch Keller could be like, man, watching Martin Perez go about his business is really what set that next level for me.
Yeah, so we've since I've been in the big leagues, we've been fortunate to kind of always been a team that's competitive and postseason bound. So really the only guys that we've gotten kind of short rental term kind of deals have been in trades. And I think one of the guys that we traded for, gosh, it might have been 18 when Kratzy, when you were with us, was Gio Gonzalez. He came over from the Nationals and came from a team that wasn't going to make the postseason. Came to us and just kind of being the veteran guy showed us how to kind of go about his business and took us all to nice show dinners and showed us how much money he had. But it was kind of one of those things. It was a great guy for a lot of us young guys. A lot of us, we didn't really have that veteran guy to kind of look up to. We had some guys that were in the rotation that were good, that were not super veteran guys that have been in the game for a long time. So Gio was kind of that guy, and I know Woody learned a lot from him. I learned a lot from him. Even obviously Freddie. All of us at that time were kind of in the bullpen, kind of wanting to be in the rotation, getting to that point. So he was kind of that guy that I think at 18 was kind of that veteran guy, that veteran presence for us.
Yeah, when you used to wear glasses and you used to sweat all over them. That was disgusting.
Yeah, that sounds really good then.
I'm glad you don't do that anymore. But are you waiting? Are you waiting to see where Yamamoto goes to possibly have your bags packed to head to a new team? How is that? How is this whole process playing out for you? Obviously, you do your workouts, you get yourself ready, and you're going to say, "Well, I'm a Brewer until I'm not." But how is this process different from other off seasons?
Yeah, I mean, from the outside looking in, knowing that I'm 1 year away from free agency, it's exciting. It's exciting to see the process these guys go through, the teams that are in on them, the teams that are out on them. It just it's almost a little bit foreshadowing of what's going to happen next offseason with me getting to free agency. But it's one of those times it's a complete unknown. He's probably interviewing 7 or 8 different teams right now, and he doesn't even know. So it's kind of one of those things that you're waiting for that one offer, that one spark to figure out where you're going to play. And then, like you said, then I'm possibly a trickle down effect of that, of a team wanting to trade. Obviously the Brewers, we're going to be competitive. That's kind of just how our team is. We're counted out every year. We're going to be second or third. And at the end of the year, we're at the top. So it might have effect on me. It might not. But only time will tell on that one.
Okay, I'm glad that Kratzy broke the seal on asking you about trade rumors, because I'm so curious. What is it like? Do you check Twitter? Does your family? Do you tell your friends and family, like, don't tell me if you've seen any rumors? How do you deal with people who want to tell you, oh, I saw a rumor that you could get traded?
I just say, you know what? If it happens, it happens. I don't look into it. The most I see is what comes across the MLB app. That's about all I read into it. I've got a almost 2-year-old child that takes up most of my time. So chasing him around in between getting workouts and stuff done, there's not too much time just to kind of sit on the phone and look at stuff. So the few things I see that come across MLB.com are great. But until I get contacted, until I get that phone call that I'm traded, it's all just rumors. And I'm a Brewer until I'm told I'm not.
Corbin, I think it's your right shoulder, but this TV thing, there's this thing up there. It's this trophy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a Cy Young award. You have a lot of, there you go. You have empty blocks. Are those for the next few years of Cy Youngs, or is it just that's you pre-planned when you built your house? That was smart.
Yeah, just left the open slots just in case. You got to be prepared.
Okay, I like it. So we had Rowdy Tellez, your former teammate, on the other day. He is now in your division. He is now a Pittsburgh Pirate. Are you going to hit him? And when you do hit him, will you please say it was from me for making up all those lies about me? And then when he tries to charge him out, whoop his ass for me.
He'll get hit for sure. That's when I saw the news. When I saw the news, I texted him a GIF of a hit by pitch, and he was like, "Oh, my hammy is going to hurt that day." So he's already preparing the excuses and pulling the chute. So no, it'll be different. It'll be different seeing him in a different uniform. I don't know how he'll look in the black and yellow. Probably not as good as the blue and yellow, but can't really say that he looked good in the blue and yellow anyway. So we just kind of we'll play it out. I tell him every year in spring training the last couple of years that I'm going to hit him with a cutter in the back shoulder. I got to work on the cutters up and in, and haven't done it yet. But now that he's on their team, he's not a teammate, so I can just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, for sure. But you don't have to hit him because Freddie said he's going to hit him. Freddie was on the other day. He said, "Oh my goodness, Rowdy?" He said, "Oh yeah, maybe right here, maybe right here, yeah." So Freddie will take care of it. What feels better as a pitcher? If there's truly, obviously, we're joking about Rowdy, but now you're in Rowdy's head, so he's not going to be able to do too well. So you've already eliminated that. What would feel better if you had a guy that you were like seriously pissed about? What would feel better? Throwing that cutter at 98 up and in and just absolute shattering his bat and leaving his thumbs in the box, or punching his ticket twice in the 2 at-bats that you get to face him?
Punching the ticket on the backdoor cutter for sure.
Like a watching, like a looking.
Yep.
Oh no!
Really?
I think bat.
Oh, dude, broken back, ground ball to the pitcher.
Oh.
You pick it up, and Rowdy's trying to go to first. He's like, my hand, I broke my finger again. And you're running over there, and you're like, ha, 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 you dumbass, and you just flip it, and you wait as long as possible, and you're talking shit as you're going down the line. Dude, that's a win for me.
Trust me, that's a great second. But what gets you paid is the punchies. You need the punchies.
Okay. Well, that leads me to my next question then. All right. So Glasnow just got traded. We've talked a lot about you getting traded. He signed an extension, like the trade had to go for it to go through. He had to sign the extension. Do you do that in the sense of, okay, Team X calls, the Orioles call, and they're like, hey, we want to sign you to extension. The only way this trade goes through is if Corbin agrees to an extension. Have you thought about that? Is that something that your agent and you have talked about? And do you know what that process is? Because it seems like it's a quick turnaround.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised when you obviously you first heard the rumors of the Glasnow trade, then how quickly an extension came together. And usually you hear about extension talks being 3-4 months long, a year long before they eventually come together. So that's I was surprised that it came together that quick. But obviously he's from LA. He wanted to play for the Dodgers, so they gave him an offer he couldn't turn down. But being in my shoes, being a year away from it, I think if a trade and extension type of deal came up, obviously every guy that gets this close to free agency wants to test the market to kind of see what your true dollar amount is, kind of see what teams really are in on you. So it would have to be something that would just absolutely, I think, blow you away to kind of get you away from testing the free agent market, being able to choose where you want to go. Because I think that's kind of the one thing that every player in their career wants to get to. Once you get that 6 years of service time, which for a lot of guys takes 7, 8, sometimes 9 years to get to, you kind of get that chance to test the market and kind of see the way your top dollar is.
Who do you feel like you compare to in the free agent market? Because next year it would be, if you don't sign an extension type of thing, it would be you and Zach Wheeler will be the top of that market. And this year you have 2-time Cy Young Award winner Blake Snell. He's going to sign. Jordan Montgomery, no-time Cy Young Award winner. Glasnow just did what he did, no-time Cy Young Award winner. And Aaron Nola. So do you look at their figures and say, I can do more than that? Or are you sitting there going, okay, Zach Wheeler, I see what you've done, but I got this thing right over my shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're always comparing yourself to guys that are out there. Obviously, the biggest pitcher deal that we've seen so far is Garrett Cole a couple of years ago, and he's a guy that's obviously been at the top of the game and done well for so long. And the guys you rattle off this year have been great arms that have done well. But I think if you're anyone sitting in my shoes or the shoes of those guys that are getting ready to get signed, you're trying to get the top dollar. You're trying to convince every team that you're the best pitcher that's out there, and it's going to be nothing different when I get to free agency next year. I'm going to go out there and do my thing this year and try to convince a team next year that I'm worth top dollar, and hopefully there's a couple teams that are bidding and can get that dollar figure up. But you never know what can happen until it's your time to get to free agency and see what teams are going to go crazy, because you have some teams that are going to like you more than others and willing to pay a little bit more than some teams that aren't. So, but definitely I'm going to go out there and do what I can to be the best pitcher that's out there and be paid likewise.
And a lot of it's going to come down to how much that offers. Of course, that's what you want to get to free agency, see what the biggest number you can get is. But we started the show today talking about like the Yamamoto experience. He's getting dinner at Steve Cohen's house. He's having all these meetings. He doesn't know anything about these teams because he's coming over from Japan, and so he's learning about the teams. When you're a free agent, other than the money, what do you want to see in these pitches? Like, what do you want to hear from teams? What would sell you on a new team?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, it's winning. You want to know that the team has desires to win, and they want to win throughout the entirety of your contract. No one wants to sign somewhere and then go into a rebuild and be the team that's fighting to win 100 games. That's not fun for anyone. So showing the willingness to win every year, I think is probably something that just about every free agent strives for. If you're at that level, and I think there's no different for me there. And it's the competitiveness, I think, is something that you can't beat. So if a team is willing to go out and sign the top guys and keep doing it year after year and showing that they're going to win and have the desire to win, I think that's the spot that anyone wants to be.
Nothing weird though. You're not like East Coast, West Coast, Florida spring training, Arizona. Like, what are you know what I mean? Like, there's got to be. What do you city, middle of the country? Where do you want to be?
Not really. I think that's kind of, I think I'm in a unique perspective, I think, than most guys that are, grew up in an area, want to play in an area. For me and my wife have talked about it. We're going to go somewhere where we think it's the best fit and going to win, and obviously has to pay for it. But we're not going to hold ourselves to any geographical reason. Just because of we grew up in a certain area, or we both grew up in California, we live in Arizona, we play in Milwaukee, so that there's no geographical ties for us at all.
All right, so don't care where you play. You saw the whole Shohei thing, right? About how much money he's deferred. Is this, like, for me, this is not something that was ever. They're not deferring minor league contracts, so this is more your realm. And this is what you, like, the area you're living into. Is that something that you would think about doing so that your team could be better and you would keep winning? Because that's what you said. Obviously, the money. You want the money. And you want to win. Nobody wants to sign an 8-year contract and lose. So is that something that you are willing to do to get a better team on the field?
Yeah, I would say yes. There's definitely ways to get creative with contracts. I think we see it, every year. There's, deferrals, signing bonuses, whatever it may be. I definitely think there's ways to get creative with the team that really wants you, and they show the desire to want you and desire to win. And I think that if that's a place that you ultimately want to play, I think there are ways to get creative with the contract, like Shohei did. And obviously, we've never seen that much deferral before. But you see deferrals in contracts, all the time. So I definitely think that is a way to get creative, to show that you want to be there and show that you want to keep winning year in and year out.
Corbin, I know you've been with the Brewers your whole career.
Yep.
Would you expect them to come to you before something happens? Would you like, whether it's Antanasio, whether it's Murph, whether it's Matt Arnold, somebody to say, hey, man, we're deep in talks? Or would you rather have it be a surprise and you look up one day and you're sitting at home, you're dealing with your 2-year-old, and all of a sudden across the screen it says Corbin Burnes has been traded to the Yomiuri Giants in Tokyo.
That'd be a fun time. My wife was always like, "Hey, let's go to Tokyo. Let's go play in Japan."
Oh, okay.
No, so I think I would get a text of some sort, just based off the conversations I've had with our front office in years past with kind of some of those things. So I do think I would get some sort of text message prior to it of, hey, deep in talks. Hey, this is kind of what's going down, just so you're not surprised. I think there are some trades that go down at the trade deadline, that kind of stuff, where guys are surprised. But from some of the guys that I've talked to that have been traded in the past, they've had a couple hours notice of, hey, this is getting ready to go down. So I would imagine I would probably get that sort of notice, and I would hope that I would get that sort of notice, just so you're not surprised from a text from my mom. Hey, it looks like you just got traded. You're like, oh, I didn't know that you broke the news now. So I definitely think that would happen.
Has it ever gotten to that point? Have you ever gotten, because at the trade deadline, remember we talked about it on here, Matt Arnold sat down with you at the lunch table and was like, hey, we're not trading you. Have they ever contacted you this offseason or previous, last offseason and said, there's a little bit of talks, but just relax? Or has that not ever happened?
I've never had that. No, I've never gotten the text of, hey, we're floating you out there. We're possibly going to trade you. Basically, the only conversations I've had are, like you said, like I've sat down and said, hey, we're not trading you this year. That's not going to happen. We're competing. We're going after it. So, I've yet to receive those texts that, they've engaged and are close to trading me. But definitely have had the conversations of you're not going anywhere.
Corbin, you are arbitration eligible this time for the last time. We know how last time went. Are you going to go at the Brewers and say, listen, bitches, we made the playoffs because of the way I pitched this year, so pay me more? Unlike last year where they said you didn't make it because you had like 2 bad starts. So this year I'd be like, hey, listen, guys, I pitched really well and we made the playoffs, so pay up.
I don't think we're going to have to get that far this year. My prediction is that we get to a point where we don't have to do that. I don't think either side wants to do that again, obviously with what happened. So I would predict that we will probably get something done before that, but we are prepared to go to a case if need be.
All right, kind of the same question I just asked. Have they told you that you're safe this winter? Have they, because they told you at the lunch table, Matt Arnold told you, have they told you you're safe this winter?
I have not gotten the text saying that I'm not being traded this winter. Just basically what's been told in the media is kind of what I think it was the winter meetings when they said that they think I'll be the opening day starter come 2024 for the Brewers, but I haven't received the text that I'm not going anywhere.
When do you get this arm? When do you get that arm cranking? All right. I mean, we're at December 19th now. When does that thing start loosening up?
She's cranked. She's full go.
Off the mound?
Oh yeah, always.
So you stay off the mound. There's not like a down period for you.
So the first 3 days I played catch, I didn't get off the mound, but I got the turf mound in the backyard. I play catch out to about 150 feet out back, and then finish on the mound.
And who's playing catch against you? Because I say against you because when you throw, you remember I used to in 19. I remember spring training, like you were coming out, glasses were all fogged up. And you don't play catch with Corbin Burnes. You play catch against Corbin Burnes. Mm-hmm. And he is full go. So who's out there catching them Johns?
No one. The net. I try not to kill anyone in the offseason. So I got the net.
All net.
I've got the stand-in hitter. He does get beat up from time to time. I've got Rowdy's picture taped to it right now. So I'm working on the cutters in. So that's that. But the stand-in hitter does get beat up quite a bit. But yeah, just the net.
Really?
You got to teach the 2-year-old to catch.
I can't believe you don't have somebody catching you. You can't find like a high school guy or somebody to come over?
I probably could, but it's 5 days a week that I have someone come over the house. So
and you'd have to give them money, and you don't have enough money, so
I don't have that kind of dough yet. So
and it's off your schedule too. Like you can go straight out to the turf mound. I would agree with Corbin. I would throw into like the curtain that divided a gym, but I had somebody pick it off the ground and throw it back to me. But
I'm walking down there with the bucket. I got about 35, 40 balls in the bucket. Throw them all, go down, pick them up, walk back. It's awesome. It's
an arbitration in your free agent contract. You got to ask for a catcher in the offseason.
I was going to say.
I mean, geez.
We were talking about things you could ask for in free agency, and I think someone come to your house maybe in the off season. Get your bullpen or two.
But it's nice that you're not having to wait on someone to get to the house if they're 15 minutes late. So I can go out there and I can work out, go straight from my workout to throwing and knock out my cardio after, and then I'm done in 2.5, 3 hours, and that's it for the day. And then it's chasing around the little guy. That's
how the Brewers save money.
Yeah,
they gave him a net instead of a catcher.
No, that's my net. I paid for the net. That's all.
Oh, that's your net. Okay. We got
dude. Get your wife. Have you ever seen Bull Durham? Get your wife out there, put her in the gear, and say, "Let's go."
In previous years, she has picked up the balls in the bucket for me. That was nice. But now she has to keep my son from running across the net while I'm throwing. because he likes to try to stand in and hit it as well. But I don't want to hit him yet. Maybe in a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe in a couple years he can stand in.
Okay. Well, we've got some things for you to consider. We've got a whole year until free agency. You can start making a list, like only green M&Ms, and then catcher for the offseason, and figure out where you want to rank these things.
Green M&Ms.
I just was picking what is it people have on their riders? They have weird requests. That's a famous thing that musicians do. I don't know. All right. Thank you so much, Corbin.
So, Kratz, for me, the most interesting thing is Corbin pointing out that, sure, you can trade me to a ball club, but that doesn't necessarily mean he is going to sign a Tyler Glasnow extension, which all the power to Tyler. He seems happy as hell. He's on foul territory, smiling. And these are two different pitchers. Corbin has had a much higher durability score. And sure, yeah, if you want to try and sign him to an extension, that's cool, but it probably is going to have to be a massive number that's 2.5 times what Tyler Glasnow got in order to keep him and prevent him, a Scott Boras client in Corbin Burnes, from hitting free agency and exploring what he's got, right?
He's interested in it. He said it. He said, I'm not against it. It's just, it's got to be what his value is, because he's going to go to the free agent market. Where does this tie into the Brewers? Let's say he says, no, I don't want an extension. Teams aren't going to be willing to give quite as much up. Now, all of a sudden, if a team comes and says Mookie Betts type of extension when he went to the Dodgers, because I think Corbin's a $300 million pitcher, he's going to have a tough time getting traded to a place and telling them no to $300 million. If that's the case, that team is going to give a king's ransom for Corbin Burnes.
Mm-hmm. So we're back in the new year for this show, maybe talking about a trade that involves Corbin Burnes. We appreciate you for watching the first year of Brew Crew Territory. Happy New Year. For Kratz, I'm Braun. And if you're watching this show, it's available in podcast form. If you're listening, then watch us on YouTube. Just type in Brew Crew Territory or go to the Foul Territory YouTube channel and find it. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.